Hello, everyone. It is Teresa from Teresa's Spot, for all things art. Where I love sharing art from my heart and teaching you how to create a little joy in your life through some fun, simple, and quick art projects. Welcome, welcome, welcome to 31 Days of Halloween, day 28. Yay! This has been a really fun month. We have had a variety of projects. If you've missed a couple or you've missed some and you want to see them, go ahead and scroll back and you'll be able to find them on my page. And we are going to get started. This is what I'm painting for you all tonight. Isn't that fun? We all love a little hocus pocus, right? Yes, we do. So let me do this. And then Let's see. So if I do this, and then we get the echo. So if I do this, can you hear me now? Oh, wrong one. Can you hear me now, Miss Vanessa? I'm happy to have you here. Let me know if you can hear me now. I'm doing your favorite character. I'm going to get in all these little nooks and crannies. I like my brush strokes to go the right way. A little curving around. And then this is going to need a second coat. A lot of times with acrylic paints, by the time you finish the first coat, depending on what you're painting, you can be all ready for the second coat. So I could wait and I could move on, or I can paint it. So I'm just going to paint it right now while I'm here. Okay. And then I'm going to rinse my brush. Then I need some yellow. I'm going to use a little bit of white with my yellow. And I'm also going to switch to a larger brush. So I'm picking up yellow on my brush and then just putting a corner of it in the white. And I'm doing this hair. Corner in the white. And even though all of the hair here is the one color and it's the yellow, I will still paint it in sections so you can still see my brush strokes and see that there are different sections to the hair. You get that nice line in there. I'm going to come in here and I make my brush strokes a little bit of curve to go around the face. Okay. And then I'm going to do the other side. Now I'm not painting the edges of this cutout. You could if you wanted to, but I'm not. But that is totally up to you. And again, I'm just going back with my second coat because my yellow on this side has already started to dry, and that's how quickly I can come in here with a second coat. Now I'm not worried about where I'm getting it out of the lines because that'll be easy enough to fix when we do our next colors. Oh, I am using Folk Art Neon Purple. Or, let's see, Folk Art Neon Purple. I think it's backwards, but it's a neon paint. All right, and again, I'm going to wash my brush. I'm going to leave this one in the water. So I'm going to do my, oh, you know what? I'm going to go do the bubbles. Let me put this out because I touched it. But I'm going to do my bubbles. Hey, Pat, how are you? How's it going? Okay. I'm going to go back to my smaller brush and this beautiful green. I'm going to start painting in all these bubbles. So if you've ever been to Salem, Massachusetts, you know how fun it is. If you've never been and you live in the States, you may want to visit it. A lot of history, and then a lot of fun for Halloween because it is Salem, Massachusetts, uh, the home of the witch trials in the 1690s, which is sad, and it was a very tragic time. But it happened, and it is part of the history. But aside from that, the historical buildings and the House of the Seven Gables, there's such beautiful architecture there. And we had a really good visit. Lots of cute shops and restaurants. One of our favorite restaurants was Turner's. And there's a beautiful store there. They only sell hats, which is kind of unique, right? Talk about being niched down. And it is called Zitelle, Zitelle. And it was a beautiful store run by a mother and daughter. Okay, so I got my bubbles in there. We did our hair. I'm going to rinse my brush, and I'm going to go back to what I was going to do before, which was the skin tone. One little bit of brown for that. Oops. There we go. I'm still going to stick to my little brush because I feel like right now it is just easier to use the smaller brush. This way I don't, oh, I put my hand in the green. This way I can keep tight to the lines, skip around the lips. And fill in everything the way I want it. And again, these are etched in. I love these cutouts. They're etched. Even though I'm painting over all the details, we will still be able to see them when I'm done, and I'll be able to come back and paint them in however I want. Sometimes when we trace, depending on what color we're painting with, we lose our pencil lines, but with these etched cutouts, we don't lose the line even though we paint right over it. And this is just the base coat, you guys. Our art goes through a series of steps, and then it all comes together at the end. So you may look at your project and be like, oh no, I'm not loving it. But if you have a little bit of patience, you will be able to see how it all comes together at the end. So you can't judge your painting until you're done. So Vanessa, I get these cutouts from a company called Diverse Woodworking. They're located, well, to me, they're located in the Midwest here in the United States. I don't know where you're watching from. If you want one and they're sold out or you can't get one, let me know because I have some extra. And since it's Halloween on Monday, I won't be using them. Oh, actually, it's Halloween on Tuesday. Oh, Greenville, Michigan. Okay. I have a friend in Kalamazoo. Is that anywhere near you? I also have another friend in Cadillac. And then I have another friend right outside Detroit, but I forget the town. So I'm trying to be careful, but you don't really have to be that careful and that easy because, like I said, you can still see your lines. And with acrylic paint, if you're patient and you wait for it to dry, you can fix anything. Get around her lips. The lips and the eyes and the eyelashes, I will do last. That was part of when I was saying you want to add all the details at the end, and that's when you see your project, your design, your painting, whatever it is you're working on, really come to life. And I'm just blending in these strokes a little bit. There we go. So you're only 35 miles away from Kalamazoo? That's cool. A little shading under the neck area. Here too, and put a little shading under the neck area. And here too, put a little shading under the neck area. And then go back to my face color. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, please do so. You can hit that red button that says subscribe on the bottom of your YouTube. And then you can be notified the next time I upload a video or go live. Okay, so we have all our faces done. Did a little shading for the neck areas. I'm gonna let our faces dry a little bit. And I'm going to start working on the clothes. So I'm going to continue with this. Oh, actually, I'm going to do a second coat because I'm using the same color. So I'm going to come back up here to her hair. And this purple is Juneberry. It's a different purple than what I used on the kettle. And again, I'm painting the hair in sections so I can do my brush strokes to match her updo. Instead of just coming in here and painting the whole thing one color with a big wide brush, I paint the hair in sections. So it actually, my brush strokes actually follow the shape and her hairstyle. There we go. And then I'm going to come down here and work on her outfit. My brush was getting a little too much paint buildup on it, and it was making me hard for me to get in these nooks and crannies. So I wiped it off. You don't have to go into the water. I just wipe it off on my paper towel, in this case my rag, get my brush all nice and fixed, and then I go back to my painting. You start to build up too much paint on your brush, you can't control the fibers and make skinny lines. So you don't have to go into the water, but I will go over to my paper towel or whatever I'm using to clean my brush with and give it a wipe and then come back. Oh, there we go. Okay, so we have her outfit done. Wash my brush. Do you have an open one? Yeah, right here. I just need a tiny bit of red. Apparently, and I didn't know this, the paint that gets built up under your cap right here, apparently that's called a paint nipple. I just learned that on TikTok. I don't know. I didn't know it, but that's what she said. So I'm taking my time. I'm outlining this top. I want to have a nice crisp edge next to her neck. And then I come and fill it in. There we go. Okay. Moving right along. Okay, so I did her outfit pink. I did hers red. I did hers purple, but I'm going to give her a second coat. So I'm going to come back to this beautiful Juneberry and go over this one. Okay. A little bit of wispy hair down there on her chin. Okay. Now maybe I'm going to go back. I'm going to do a second coat on my bubbles. The beauty of this being recorded now, you guys, if you're watching me on YouTube, you don't have to see me do the second coat. You can just hit the fast forward button and then just come back for the details. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, please do. I have over 300 different video tutorials, holidays, seasonal, all level painting tutorials, including some one-stroke decorative art painting tutorials. Whether you want to watch me paint and find that relaxing, or grab some paints and paint along. Some of my tutorials even have the tracers for you to help you get started. All my kits and all my classes come with a supply list and tracers for the supplies as well. Okay. Oh, looking so good so far, you guys. Looking good so far. Use my brush. Okay. Okay. Now I'm going to start making the hair really fun. So I'm picking up some orange. I'm just getting a corner of red. And I'm going to come back in. I'm going to add some red highlights to this hair. Okay. Load my brush with orange. Pick up a little bit of red. And just come in here and add some red highlights to our hair. Isn't that cool? So pick up orange, pick up some red, and then come up here and add the little red highlights to this part of our updo as well. I'm always keeping my red to the outside, and I want to have mostly orange on my brush because her hair is mostly orange. I just want a little bit of red on the corner of my brush for the outside highlights. And then I'm just going to clean off my brush by giving a little bit more orange in here around the face. There you go. So now we added a little bit of red to her hair. Okay. And rinse my brush. And we're going to do the same thing over here. I am going to load my brush with yellow and then just pick up a corner of orange and come over here and start adding some orange highlights to her. You want all your paint to be nice and wet so you can blend it in. I don't know if you can see that. There you go. Okay, I'm going to pick up a bunch of orange, yellow, and I pick up a little bit of orange. I'm coming over here and I'm adding in some orange to her hair as well. Yellow, a corner of orange, and then in here. And then my brush still has some orange in it. And I can put some in here to frame her face as well. And I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. I'm just using the corner of orange on my brush and coming in here and framing around her face with the orange on my brush. And blending that in. Oh, looks like a froze. Hey, Kimberly. So that's what we have so far. I'm gonna go back to my little brush and my red. And I'm gonna start doing in my lips. Here we go. That is one. That is two. And then three. I'm using a little flat brush. This brush is a little bit less than 1/4 of an inch wide, I believe. And it's working out really well for these little tiny spaces. Again, don't worry if you don't have a steady hand and you're not perfect, because you can come back and fix it if you don't love it or you get out of the lines or whatever. Okay. And then I'm going to just going to come over here and just pick up a little bit of black so I can have some shading. Oh, didn't pick up enough black. I'm going to pick up a little bit of black on the edge of my brush. And I'm just going to come in here and I'm going to give some shading into the bottom of her lip. And if it's too much, I can come back with some red. There. Nice. Do the same thing. A little black. I still have some on my brush. It's a bit of a little bit darker red. And I'm just adding in a little bit of shading to the bottom lip. A little bit of black goes a very, very long way. Okay. Then I get my pouncer. I'm going to make some pink. I have pink, but I have red and white out already, so I'm just going to make a little bit more pink over here. I'm going to get my pouncer. And I'm just gently putting in here some pink cheeks. And she doesn't have her whole cheek. Let me get a piece of paper. She's missing part of her cheek. It's buried in her hair. So I'm still going to use the pouncer. But I cover up her hair. This way you only see part of it. That, the rest of it's covered with her hair. I'm going to put that in there. Okay. So now I'm going to start adding in the eyes, you guys. What do they say? The eyes are the windows to the soul. Got my liner brush. And there we go. My liner brush. I'm using my little pinky. I'm taking my time. And I'm just tracing in. This is a good shortcut, you guys, because eyes are hard. If you're ever doing a project and it involves eyes and you feel a little challenged, the eyes don't have to be open. You don't have to make beautiful blue irises and the perfect pupils. Nope. You can just make some closed eyes and then add little eyelashes. Your eyelashes get wonky, wait for them to dry, and paint right over them with the paint that you used for your flesh, whatever color you made that. Okay, look at that. Eyes are cool. Then, sticking with my liner brush, I need a little bit more yellow. We want to do our eyebrows. And I guess we want our eyebrows to match. If you don't, that's okay. That's up to you. I'm making mine match. Oops. And then last but not least, I'm putting a little bit more pressure on our brush at the beginning of the eyebrow, just to make it a little bit thicker. And then I'm pulling across. I'm going to start adding some detail to our hair. And the hair is easy to add the detail to because you just want to go in and we're just tracing over the etch lines. And I'm going to do a little bit outline. Up here. Right on the edge. Oh, one more line in here. And we're good. I'm going to do a little bit under here and a little bit around the ears. I'm going to do the same thing here. So I'm going to do under her chin and a little bit around the ear. Okay. Then I want, I'm going to outline hers in black. But when I come in to do the lines or the etchings, I'm going to do those in white. If you can't do one long stroke like I'm doing, it's okay to make little tiny strokes and just have them meet up with each other. Okay. A little bit around the outfits. These highlights and lowlights that we're going to add make such a difference. So I said to you before, it's all in the details. At the beginning, I'm base coating everything. But then when the base coating is done and we start to come back in with all these details, that's when you really see your project pop. Brush my brush. I'm picking up some red. I'm doing her etches for the shape of her hair in red. I could do them in black, but I just like the way they look better in the red. I may go back and add a little bit of black. I may add a little bit of white. We shall see, but not yet. And I'm going to go into some white here. And again, if you can't do these strokes in one, it is totally okay to just do little tiny strokes. You don't have to do your strokes in one swoop. You could do little tiny strokes that just match up with each other. Now I'm going to add a highlight to all the bubbles. I think I missed a line here with the hair. Yep. I want to add a little bit of detail up here in her hair. And start adding little detail around the cauldron. Maybe I'll give her a little bit of white up here too. Not too much, just a little bit. A couple little highlights in there. Wash my brush. So I got a couple little black dots. I don't know if you can see them, but I can. So I'm just going to paint over them. Okay. I got a little bit on the eyebrow too. Must have splattered my black paint before. Oh, and I just put my arm in there. So this is easy. So I put my arm in this. I got white paint down here. I dipped my brush into some water. I'm going to loosen up this white paint. And then I'm going to get a clean spot of my red or a clean paper towel. And I'm just going to wipe it off. And it comes right off. See, I'm giving you guys my tips and tricks here. A couple little white dots on there. Okay, rinsing off my brush. Now I just want to go in. I want to add a little bit of outline to the lips. I don't want to make them too dark. I do want to come in here and do a little bit of outline. If you are not a fan of using a liner brush for little details like this, you can wait for your paint to completely dry. A couple of hours, tomorrow, the next day, whatever. And then you can come in with the paint pen and add all these little details. It's up to you. I'm using my liner brush. I'm getting a very fine end on my liner brush. And I'm just outlining the lips a little bit. And I think, oh, I know. I was going to say, I think that's it, but a little bit more white highlight to add. Up here, 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 and there. And there we have it. So I hope you enjoyed this. I'm not going to work on the letters. The letters are tedious. I don't think anybody wants to see. I'm going to do the letters, but I don't think anybody wants to see me sit here and trace in. It's just a bunch of hocus pocus. I will be doing it, but I don't need to do it here for you guys. That's like watching paint dry, literally. So let me put me back in. And that is it. So thank you, everyone. Oh, here we go. There we go. There we go. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you, everyone. Tomorrow is day 29 of 31 Days of Halloween. I hope you enjoyed a little bit of Hocus Pocus. And have a great night. Bye, everyone.